Welcome back to Secret Screen Stories, your go-to spot for the most unexpected and thrilling deep dives into your favorite shows. Today's video is all about the latest sensation from the Game of Thrones universe. Now, we all know how much we adore Game of Thrones. It's one of the most watched and beloved TV shows ever. And now, HBO has launched House of the Dragon, a prequel series that takes us back hundreds of years before the familiar tales of Westeros. This series covers the history of House Targaryen, showing us how they transformed from the undisputed rulers of Westeros to the troubled lineage we encounter at the start of Game of Thrones. Now, it's natural to be intrigued by House of the Dragon, but if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, or maybe it's been a while and you need a quick refresher, then you're in the right place. In this video, we're going to sum up everything you need to know about Game of Thrones in just a few minutes. We've condensed the entire saga, including the pivotal moments from all 8 seasons, into short, digestible highlights. This way, you can catch up or jog your memory in no time. So if you need to refresh your memory or get a quick overview, watch the video until the end. We're about to make sure that you're fully prepared and ready to dive into the dramatic world of House of the Dragon. Alright, let's start. Season 1. Season 1 of Game of Thrones starts with a haunting discovery beyond the Northern Wall, where the Night's Watch sees a White Walker, a mythical creature thought to be just a legend. In the north, Ned Stark, the respected Warden of the North, leaves Winterfell with his daughters Sansa and Arya to become the Hand of the King after the mysterious death of the previous Hand, Jon Arryn. Rumors swirl that the Lannisters, the family of King Robert Baratheon's wife Cersei, might be involved. During the Lannisters' visit to Winterfell, Ned's son Bran uncovers a dark secret. He sees Cersei with his brother Jaime, who then pushes Bran from a tower, paralyzing him. This event sets off a chain of troubling events. Tyrion Lannister, fascinated by the White Walkers, travels with Jon Snow to the Wall, where Jon joins the Night's Watch. Back at King's Landing, after a hunting accident fatally injures King Robert, Ned is named Protector of the Realm. He plans to give this role to Stannis Baratheon, the king's brother, but is betrayed by Peter Baelish, known as Littlefinger, and executed on the orders of Cersei's son Joffrey. Following Ned's execution, Sansa is captured by the Lannisters while Arya escapes. Ned's son Robb declares himself king of Winterfell and leads the northern armies against the Lannisters. Across the Narrow Sea, Daenerys Targaryen marries Khal Drogo, a powerful Dothraki leader. Convinced of her rightful claim to the Iron Throne, Daenerys plans a return to Westeros. After Drogo dies from a curse, Daenerys seeks revenge and miraculously hatches 3 dragon eggs, signaling the return of dragons to the world. Season 2. In Season 2, Tyrion Lannister steps in as the Hand of the King, trying to curb Joffrey's ruthless streak. Meanwhile, Stannis Baratheon, spurred by the sorceress Melisandre, claims the throne and reveals Joffrey's paternity secret. Jaime Lannister is his real father. Robb Stark holds Jaime captive and sends Theon Greyjoy to seek an alliance with his father on the Iron Islands. Instead, Theon betrays Robb and takes Winterfell, forcing Bran Stark to flee. Robb's efforts to unite with Renly Baratheon end in disaster when Renly is killed by a dark spirit from Melisandre, sending Catelyn and Brienne fleeing for their lives.
Die for this!
No, it wasn't.
At the Wall, Jon Snow uncovers disturbing secrets and decides to infiltrate the wildlings. Arya, captured by the Lannisters, is taken to Harrenhal.
Kneel, or I'll carve your lungs out, boy.
You do no such thing. This one's a girl, you idiot. Dressed as a boy. Why?
Safer to travel, my lord.
Smart.
Where she narrowly escapes with the help of a mysterious assassin, Jaqen H'ghar. Daenerys struggles in Quarth, trapped in the House of the Undying with her dragons, but she eventually escapes, leaving the city in ruins. Meanwhile, Stannis' assault on King's Landing fails disastrously when Tyrion uses wildfire to destroy his fleet. Season 3. Season 3 deepens the intrigue. Tywin Lannister removes Tyrion as Hand of the King and forces him to marry Sansa Stark. Joffrey is set to marry Margaery Tyrell to secure Lannister alliances. Beyond the Wall, Jon Snow meets wildling leader Mance Rayder and discovers a looming battle with the White Walkers. He also finds love with Ygritte amidst the icy dangers. In the south, Robb Stark's decision to marry Talisa instead of a Frey daughter leads to the notorious Red Wedding, where he, Catelyn, and Talisa are brutally murdered in a shocking betrayal orchestrated by the Lannisters and Freys. Bran Stark discovers he can project his consciousness into his direwolf, adding a mystical layer to his journey. Across the Narrow Sea, Daenerys demonstrates her power by securing an army of unsullied warriors. Season 4. Season 4 starts with a shock at Joffrey's wedding, where he is poisoned and dies.
Idiots, help your king!
Move away! Joffrey!
Sansa flees King's Landing with Littlefinger's help, only to face danger from her unstable aunt Lysa at the Vale, whom Littlefinger kills to save Sansa.
I demand a trial by combat.
In King's Landing, the accusation against Tyrion for Joffrey's murder leads to a trial by combat. Tyrion's champion, Oberyn Martell, is killed by the Mountain. Jaime helps Tyrion escape, who then kills his father Tywin before fleeing to seek Daenerys. In the north, Roose Bolton discovers his son Ramsay has brutally broken Theon Greyjoy. Now Reek. Jon Snow prepares the Night's Watch for the wildling threat, which culminates in a massive battle at Castle Black, saved in the nick of time by Stannis Baratheon. Amidst the chaos, Brienne confronts Arya and the Hound, defeating Sandor in battle. Arya escapes, setting her sights on Braavos to learn from the Faceless Men. Season 5. In Season 5, the stakes continue to rise amidst intense political and personal turmoil. The season begins with a somber note as Mance Rayder is executed by Stannis Baratheon, setting a grim tone. Meanwhile, Jon Snow faces opposition, but is ultimately elected as the leader of the Night's Watch. Tragedy strikes when Melisandre persuades Stannis to sacrifice his only daughter, Shireen, to appease the Lord of Light.
Lord of Light, show us the way!
Mother, please! Mother, please! Mother! Mother!
I can't.
Mother! Mother, don't do this, please! Mother, no, please! Please help! Don't do this!
Her horrific death by fire causes a rift in Stannis' camp, leading to a significant loss of support among his troops. Sansa Stark finds herself in a dire situation when Littlefinger arranges her marriage to Ramsay Snow, aiming to restore the Stark presence in Winterfell. However, Ramsay's cruelty proves unbearable, and Sansa's situation becomes desperate until Theon, struggling with his own demons, helps her to escape, seeking redemption for his past betrayal of her family. Stannis, now desperate, marches on Winterfell to confront the Boltons, but his dwindling forces abandon him following the outrage over his actions. In King's Landing, Cersei Lannister plots against Margaery Tyrell, who has married Tommen, the new young king. However, Cersei's schemes backfire dramatically. Her own scandalous past is unearthed by the High Sparrow, a zealous religious leader gaining power in the city. This leads to Cersei's public humiliation, where she is forced to walk naked through the streets as penance.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Across the Narrow Sea and Meereen, Daenerys Targaryen and her unsullied army face resistance from a shadowy group called the Sons of the Harpy. Amidst the chaos, Tyrion Lannister arrives, crosses the Narrow Sea, meets Daenerys and quickly earns her trust, becoming her advisor and the ruler in her absence. Back at the Wall, Jon Snow seeks to form an alliance with the wildlings to face the growing threat of the White Walkers. Their meeting is catastrophically disrupted by an attack from the Night King, leading to a massacre. When Jon returns to the Wall, the tension culminates in betrayal as his own men turn against him, stabbing him repeatedly, leaving him for dead.
For the watch.
Season 6. Season 6 starts with a shock as Melisandre resurrects Jon Snow. Believing him to be the prophesied savior. Newly revived, Jon takes back control of the Night's Watch and plans to retake Winterfell from Ramsay Bolton. His resolve strengthens when Sansa Stark arrives at the Wall after escaping Ramsay. Their reunion leads to the climactic Battle of the Bastards, where they face Ramsay in a fierce fight. With the timely help of Littlefinger and the Knights of the Vale, they win. Sansa then takes revenge on Ramsay, feeding him to his own dogs. In King's Landing, Cersei Lannister combats the rising power of the High Sparrow and his influence over King Tommen. In a drastic move, she destroys the Great Sept of Baelor with wildfire, killing the High Sparrow, Marjorie Tyrell, and others, which tragically pushes Tommen to suicide. Meanwhile, Daenerys Targaryen is captured by the Dothraki, but soon proves her power by surviving fire, asserting her leadership and returning to rule Meereen. Theon Greyjoy reunites with his sister Yara, and they escape their murderous uncle Euron, seeking Daenerys' aid. Arya Stark, having learned from the Faceless Men, avenges the Red Wedding by killing Walder Frey. Bran Stark continues his mystical training, witnessing the death of the Three-Eyed Raven and inheriting his vast powers, preparing for the coming darkness. Season 7. Daenerys Targaryen sails to Dragonstone with her Unsullied and Dothraki forces, planning to claim the Iron Throne. Melisandre suggests an alliance with Jon Snow, who soon travels to Dragonstone. Daenerys and Jon quickly form a strong bond as they strategize to defeat both the White Walkers and the Lannisters. Daenerys sends Yara and the Unsullied to confront Cersei in King's Landing. Euron Greyjoy, seeking Cersei's favor, attacks Yara's fleet. During a battle with the Lannister forces, Daenerys' dragon Drogon is injured. Jaime, witnessing Daenerys' devastating power, warns Cersei of the threat that she poses. Jon and Daenerys then embark on a perilous mission beyond the Wall to capture a live White Walker, proving the looming threat to Cersei. Although successful, they lose Daenerys' dragon Viserion, who is resurrected by the Night King as an ice dragon. Returning to King's Landing, they present the White Walker to Cersei, trying to unite against the undead. Jon and Daenerys grow closer and become intimate. Back in Winterfell, tensions rise between Arya and Sansa, manipulated by Littlefinger. However, Bran exposes Littlefinger's betrayals, leading to Sansa ordering Arya to execute him, thus ending his manipulations and avenging their family's past ordeals. Season 8. Season 8 of Game of Thrones brings a dramatic conclusion to the epic series, resolving its two major conflicts: the Great War against the Army of the Dead and the last war for control of the Iron Throne. The season kicks off with Jon Snow, Daenerys Targaryen, and other key characters rallying their forces at Winterfell to confront the imminent threat of the undead. In a defining moment during this fierce battle, Bran Stark acts as bait to draw out the Night King, leading to Arya Stark heroically ending his reign of terror. With the Night King's demise, his army of White Walkers and Whites collapses, although the victory comes at a great cost. Meanwhile, Cersei Lannister remains ensconced in King's Landing, strategically bolstering her defenses in preparation for the weakened Daenerys' next move. The story then shifts back to the quest for the Iron Throne as the series progresses. Daenerys, reeling from significant losses, unleashes the full fury of her remaining dragon, Drogon, on King's Landing. In a controversial and heart-wrenching turn, she razes the city, resulting in the deaths of countless innocents along with Cersei and Jaime Lannister. Driven by visions of a tyrannical rule under Daenerys, who vows to liberate the entire world,
You are my queen. Now and always.
a heartbroken Jon Snow confronts the harsh reality of her transformation. With a heavy heart, Jon ultimately decides to end her life to prevent further destruction. Mourning the loss, Drogon carries Daenerys' body away, but not before melting the Iron Throne with his fiery breath, symbolizing the end of the Targaryen conquest. In the aftermath, the leaders of Westeros gather and elect Bran Stark as their new king. Bran's first act as ruler is to grant independence to the north, leading to Sansa Stark being crowned as queen in the north. Arya Stark sets sail to explore territories west of Westeros, while Jon Snow, now freed of his ties to the throne, leads the wildlings back beyond the wall, returning to the true north where his journey began. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more content on the latest blockbuster movies and series. Do keep an eye out for our upcoming videos where we cover more epic tales. See you next time!